It's up almost 170% over the last 6 months. Here to talk more about Ether and large crypto trends, along with the broader markets, let's bring in Joe Moglia. Joe.
Clap him in.
It's always great to see you. Original sponsor of Fast Money.
Thank you, Melissa.
So there are so many companies out there now that are Ethereum Treasury companies. Right. They go public. They are public. Their stocks skyrocket. I mean, what is so intriguing? What is so interesting about a company that is designed to acquire an asset?
Well, I think for the most part, the people that grew up in the Web3 world and the DeFi world really are on top of their game. But it's a lot of people in the traditional finance world that still tend to struggle with this a little bit. So if you think about where the future is, 5 years from now, there's not going to be a stock, there's not going to be an option, there's not going to be a mutual fund, ETF, anything that's not in effect tokenized. Stablecoins. 5 years ago, nobody heard about stablecoins. Today, we've got about $280 billion market. And Secretary Bessent had said that two years from now, we'll probably have a $2 trillion market. Ethereum is about 60% of that. So Ethereum's got its own blockchain, and it's got programmable smart contracts that, in effect, can do really complex financial, institutional type transactions, especially overseas, that can be done almost instantaneously today, and that's going to be the way of the future. So 5 years from now, the market that we know it today, the exchanges, 24/7 markets and settlement, et cetera, that's going to be the way of the future. And I'm not sure traditional finance has necessarily quite accepted that yet.
All right, Joe, you got to tell us this, all right? You're a market legend, and you really are somebody who democratized a lot of technology to a lot of investors out there. At what point did you ever think that you would be a chairman of a company that is buying digital assets? Because Larry Fink was on 60 Minutes last night, and he's being questioned. At some point, he didn't think crypto was a thing, and now he recommends everybody should own some.
Well, that's because he used to be a real traditional finance guy. Now he's a DeFi guy, and he's a Web3 guy, and he appreciates the future. I mean, Larry's a pretty bright guy, right? You don't want to go against Larry, but maybe this was 13 years ago when my partner, Kyle Sermonero, and I founded actually Fundamental Global LLC. And then the different things that we've looked at since then, and Kyle's always been thoughtful in terms of what the future might be. And then when we started to look at the DATs, the digital asset treasuries, and we met Maya Voinovich, who is in charge of our digital asset strategy. The combination of all those for us, when you think about the future and you think what's going on, to me, this is still the early stages. It's kind of like Ethereum in an equity wrapper. It's not just the Ethereum by itself. It's an Ethereum with an equity wrapper.
Joe's too humble to say this, but I will. He was the Grand Marshal of Columbus Day weekend.
Yes.
It was going to be the parade today. The parade was canceled. What is also seemingly being canceled is people's appetite for the United States dollar. So I'll ask you, when you think about the viability of crypto, Ethereum, Bitcoin, is part of it sort of built upon this concern about the U.S. dollar as a reserve currency?
I think that's very much part of that. Stablecoin, though, really is stablecoin and the U.S. dollar very much wind up going together. So, again, Guy, when you think about what the future might be, I can't. It's hard for me to fathom that Bitcoin or Solana or Ethereum is going to replace the dollar as the world's reserve currency. But for it to be a significant part of our future going forward, I think that that's very, very real. I don't see it replacing the dollar.
Joe, so as we think about tokenization, and again, FG Nexus's position here and on the rails that are Ethereum, which will allow for all this, I mean, what I hear is that all assets will be tokenized within, I don't know, is it 10 years, is it 5 years? Your thoughts on this? Because I think everything we're doing is really leading to that. It just, the rails aren't in place yet.
I would agree. Totally agree with that, Tim. In fact, one of the things we're looking at when we look at real world assets, we are in the process now of tokenizing as part of FGLC. We have a reinsurance company, and we are looking at tokenizing that risk. We're in the process of taking a look at that now. But I think going forward, real world assets are going to be tokenized, and as the rest of the world is going to be.